So I'm going to use this variable demo application that's with the student sample programs to show you how to assign keyboard access keys to your buttons, and also how to create an accept button and a cancel button for your application. So let's just take a look here. We have a text box for first name, a text box for last name, and we have 3 buttons. So the show button, when it gets clicked, should display here in this label, LBL full name. It should display your first name concatenated to your last name. All right, so let's just double click here and we'll create this event handler. I'm going to make a little bit more space here. Okay. So into LBL full name, to the text property, I'm going to put the first name, and I'm going to concatenate that to the last name. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to run my application. All right, and hit show name, and there we go. So I should concatenate a space in there as well. I'll do that in a minute. So I don't have any code yet in my clear or my exit button, so I'm going to add that. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to concatenate a space in there. Okay. And then my clear button, I'll put the code in here, and what that's going to do is in my txt first name dot clear. So I'll clear that. Txt last name dot clear, and my label dot full name, I'll set the text property to the empty string. And then I'm going to go back and just put in the code for my exit button, which we know is me.close. All right, so now we'll run this, and everything should look good now. And when I click on show name, then I'll click on clear, then I'll click on exit. Okay, so let's start to talk about access buttons. When you're using any type of Windows application, a lot of times you can use an access key to access something instead of clicking on it. For instance, we might want to click, use the Alt key with an S, right, to execute the show button. And let me just come up here for a second. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing on that part of my screen. Oh, so that doesn't help. Okay. So what I can do is I'm just going to come over to the text property here. And there's actually already one in here, so I'm going to just change this to, I'm going to put an ampersand in front of show. Now you'll notice what happened in the screen now. You have the letter S is underlined, and you can pick any letter that you want to be the access key. So I can come to clear, right? I could put an ampersand here. Now C is the access key, and a lot of times with the exit key, X is what's used as an access key. So you'll notice I'll put the ampersand between the E and the X, and that will make X become the access key. So if you have a form, each access key has to be unique, right? We can't have two S's or two C's. And now I'm just going to run my application. And sometimes you don't see the access keys. You might have to hit the Alt key, and now they'll appear. So I can go in here, and I'm going to hit Alt S, which will show that, Alt C, which will clear it, and Alt X, which will exit the application. Okay. So that is how we create keyboard access keys. And the other thing that I'm going to talk about are creating an accept button and a cancel button for the form. So it's very important that you have the form selected. So I'm just clicking inside the form, not inside any of the other controls. You can see, right, the bounding box here around the whole form. If I look over here, it says Form 1. And then I'm going to scroll through here to find an accept button. And I'll get a drop down, and I'm going to make the show name is the name of that button, be my accept button. And then I'm going to scroll down to here, and I'm going to have the exit button be my cancel button. What an accept button does is if the user hits enter, it'll execute that button. So if I hit the enter key, it's going to execute the show button. And the cancel button gets executed when you hit the escape key. So if I hit the escape key, it's going to execute the cancel button. So let's run this again. And I'm going to hit the enter key and see it executes the code that's in the show button. And when I hit the escape key, it's actually going to exit the application. So just remember, you have to select the form. That's the only way you're going to see these two options under your properties for the accept button and the cancel button. So you have to have your form selected.